Because of the translucence of this medium, creating highlights with watercolor is different from other paints. With opaque paints, highlights are usually painted on top of darker colors. So today, I'm going to show different ways on how to create or keep highlights on watercolor paintings. I'll show how I painted this snowy pine cone, but to better understand highlights, it's important to know where the light source is and the structure of a certain subject. In this case, the light is coming from this side. The areas closest to the core are the darkest because light couldn't penetrate through these scales. For these subjects, highlights are on the tips of the scales and on this side of the leaves. One way of keeping highlights in watercolor is by using a masking fluid. It comes in different forms. This one has a tiny spout, so I don't need to use a brush to apply this. Masking fluid is great for tiny highlights. It's also useful in isolating overlapping objects on a painting, like these leaves in front of the pine cone. Once it's completely dry, you can paint on top of it without touching the highlight areas. The most common way is to paint around the highlights or negative painting. You can just simply avoid touching those areas while painting the shadows. Sometimes I would accidentally paint on areas that are supposedly meant for highlights. So I would recreate them by painting over it. White watercolors are translucent, so it won't work for this. So I use gouache for bigger areas and white gel pen for finer details.